Namaste. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Master Lama Rasaji, and I'm honored to be with you today to speak with you about one of our favorite of many, many subjects we'll be sharing over the next several months on Live with Rasaji. Let's first get our pencils and papers out and jot down next month's broadcast to make sure that you're aware of that. We'll be broadcasting the first Thursday in March, a week before our Atlanta tour, on the 5th of March at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the title for that broadcast will be The Art of Regeneration. That's right. The Art of Regeneration, coming down from the Lamasery that is 3,000 years old in Darchen, Tibet. We've produced more centurions in the last millennium than anywhere else on the planet. So our Maha Lama Boyan in a couple of months celebrates his 118th birthday. He's been my personal mentor basically for about 50 years in this short incarnation on the planet. Today our subject matter is the Kundalini, born of the fire. Master Rabbi Jesus said that you're born of the water of your mother, but you must be born of the holy fire of your father to enter the kingdom of heaven. Through my journeys this incarnation, I have noticed that you can go to heaven when the body stops to function, but the ancient city yoga tradition means Soguna Sate. Soguna Sate means be here now. Means we can be in heaven any moment in time at a flick of a bic, so to speak, right? Now let's begin to examine the process of the Kundalini, this birth of fire. It's actually supposed to be as natural as physical birth and as natural as puberty is itself. As you can see on one side that I have our logo here with the fire horse, representing we're entering the year of the fire horse. Actually, this coming Tuesday on the 17th will be the official start on the Chinese calendar for the year of the full harvest. The reason that they do that is because it's usually between March and September when you find the peak of the influence of the animal of that present year. It's perfect that in the year of the fire horse, we would be speaking about the birth of fire. Well, we know we have the beginning of birth inside our mother's womb. We know what begins to happen and that germination that begins to transformation. It's about 4.5 months, give or take a few weeks, when the sharat for the first time is going to make their entry into the physical body. Usually it's very much like a musical person playing the xylophone, bling, bling, and immediately the central nervous system in the fetus starts to react. And normally when that happens, this is when the expected mother feels that first movement. Now I want you to recall that because in a minute I'm going to talk about a similar movement as the Kundalini makes its way into the body. Between 12 and 21 years old, we experience different stages of what is referred to as puberty. And in that process of puberty, a couple of things begin to change. The endocrine gland system that represents the physical chakra counterpart to the physical body, that offsets the 7 major wheels that spin, or this is the Sanskrit meaning of chakra, wheels that spin. How large is a chakra, you might ask, that is spinning in our psychic 4D body? If you've ever noticed the captain's steering wheel of a large sailboat that goes way beyond us, about as far out as you can reach with your arms, are the width of an average chakra. And 7 of them correspond to the different endocrine gland systems in the body. If you look over to my other side, you'll see a female in lotus position surrounded by the birth of fire. What I want you to pay attention to is, where is the fire in her chest? It's in the heart chakra. The Apostle Peter, as we know, the first bishop of Rome, made reference to the noonday sun that arises into your heart. The noonday sun that arises into your heart. That looks like a little sun to me. How about you? Yes? So what we're saying is, during puberty is the first chance for the Kundalini to unfold. Now, in these chakras, the 7 primarily that are in the body, there are 72,000 nadas. Think of them as psychic spokes. You know, we have spokes in a bicycle. Think of them as psychic, silvery spokes. But they kind of look like a jellyfish tendencies, right? Almost like tentacles. And the normal progression of these nadas are to turn out. Well, at puberty, as we're beginning to wake up the endocrine gland system, about half of them are turned in and about half of them are turned out. But as we move more and more into adulthood, if we're healthy, if we have more pure thoughts, if we learn to breathe correctly, if we learn to move in a way that is conducive to Mother Earth herself, guess what begins to happen? More and more of the nadas, the spokes, begin to turn out. Another miraculous natural function begins to happen. The different chakras, the 7 chakras, begin to spin harmoniously together, like some beautiful musician who's using the 7 notes on a musical scale in the same way. Also, within those chakras becomes ignited the 7 colors of our fabulous rainbow on a beautiful summer day in Florida, when the rain is just begin to settle and the sun reflects and you see a prism of light. It's very interesting that astronauts that fly over what's considered the crown chakra of Earth, we referred to as Mount Kailash, sees these rainbows, these streamers coming out of the Earth itself into the atmosphere. Very fascinating, yes, when you think about it. As we progress through puberty, more and more of the nadas turn out, more and more of the chakras begin to spin. But then normally what happens is, about that time, we experience what's referred to as first love. Buddy howdy, for a moment, the heart chakra opens up fully, and it is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. For the first time, we feel a love of another individual. This is the first time we feel selfless love. right? Agape love. And it triggers the heart chakra to open up dominantly to the other chakras in our being. And as long as the relationship goes well, and we've known of people who met in high school or in college, and 20, 30 years later, they're still clicking and very vibrant souls and everything. But about 80% of them don't end well. And when that doesn't end well, what do we experience? Our first feeling of loss. What do you think happens to the nadas in the heart chakra when that begins to happen? They contract like a fetus and they turn in. And there's a good chance that with that being the dominant chakra, along with it, the power center goes next. We begin to lose authority. We start to trust more outside than God on the inside. Greater is thee that is in me, that is in the world, seems to become a lie to us. The next chakra to fold, if it continues, is the solar plex chakra, referred to as the Christ light center. In Scripture, Jesus was remembered saying, believe unto the Christ, and out of your belly will flow waters of living life. When the nadas turn in, right? Or we eat a little bit too much lasagna, too many Thanksgiving meals, all of a sudden, the vital energy of the chi in the circle of chi and in Tai Chi Gong doesn't seem to flow. So what is interrupted? The full stage of puberty is interrupted emotionally, psychologically. See, my brothers and sisters, there's as much of your mind and your emotions in your field around you as there is in your body. Sometimes we refer to the energy body as the symptom body. We don't even know, in most cases early, that we already have the ability to feel beyond our physicalness. Even though we were in a relationship with someone who unselfishly we were giving our love and affection and adoration, absolutely adoration, the same adoration that a chela, an aspirant, a neophyte gives their guru in India as they sit before the feet of a God woman or God man we refer to as avatar, one of the 120. And that God force is coming out of them. And see, they've worked through all of this stuff, right? Everything that they've done, they've worked through that. So their nadas are out. Their chakras are spinning. And all the love of the divine is coming out. The thing that triggers them back on path, it will not bring necessarily back the total puberty experience. But in Tai Chi Gong, in meditation, in pranayama, breathing energy or life over death, that is the definition of pranayama, breathing life over death. We have seen people restart part of their endocrine gland system again. What is going on with that? It's not happening so much in the physical. It's being stimulated because of the chakra and nada activity that is happening in 4 and 5D. It's superimposing, and it says that it is greatly influencing the physical body functions. I remember I was about 15 years old, 3 years from the operating table where I experienced this body dying. And all of a sudden, 2 to 3 years of martial arts, 2 to 3 years of yoga, 4 to 5 years of meditation. One day I remember myself kind of feeling a little dizzy, a little quaint, kind of tapping out in meditation and thinking that 5 minutes had gone by, to come back fully consciousness and realize an hour and 5 minutes had disappeared. Every now and then sitting in meditation, doing the Om chant or Om Shanti chants, and all of a sudden a finger would move and I would go, wait a minute, I didn't do that. And then a few fingers would move. Little by little, I would lay down in the bed at night, 15 and 16, and my body, an arm would involuntarily move, and then another arm, and then a leg. And then I would have shaking going through my body that the Lamasery refers to as a nerve flush. We're the only ones that teach this on the planet. Nerve flush. What is a nerve flush? Well, in our book, our new book called The Operational Manual of the Human Body, Dr. Beth Dolan and Master Lamaji, we begin to take an investigation of this process. You might want to take a peep and take a look. In this process, you start to realize that as you strengthen the energy body, as you learn to breathe not only oxygen but energy, the superimposement of your spirit, what is referred to as the chanda, meaning the spirit, mind, and body are but one. Are but one. They were unified always. Well, when that happens, guess what? Aha, remember I told you to remember about the physical birth, about the soul coming in the fetus. This is the time that the soul starts to make the second entrance. In other words, it goes from first gear into second gear. Born of the water of our mother, born of the holy fire of our Father. And here we are now, a new creation of God Himself, made in the image and likeness. We're not made in the image and likeness until we begin the birth of fire. A lot of times it's here that we are having an exciting experience. Our sensory system is going off the chart. We're able to hear things we were never able to hear. We smell things a little further away. And when we taste food, it's like, oh my God, I've never eaten before. The food tastes so good. We're able to see not only with our physical eyes, but brothers and sisters, we can now see with our third eye, later with our fourth eye. You go, I didn't know there was a fourth eye. Of course there's a fourth eye, right? Of course there was. Jesus said, let my eye be but single, and my whole body would be filled with light. What happens when your whole body is filled with light? Then the all-seeing eye of God is now upon you. The third eye is in the pituitary gland, but the all-seeing eye of God is in the pineal gland. That's right. and it can see 360 degrees in all directions, in front of you, behind you, above you, below. It's like you're in some kind of drone with all kind of gears like a helicopter, and you're able to swerve in and out. In everything at this moment, you realize, even the universe itself, brothers and sisters, is contained in you. It's contained in you. All this wonderment of God is contained. But during this time, most people are without a teacher. They're experiencing this and they don't know what's going on. They don't have a master guidance. Or maybe they're not connected to an avatar like we are here at the Circle of Chi. Someone who's walked the walk and talked the talk, been there, done that for decades, right? To have a guide, to have a specialist that knows when they're going. Think about it. Today, people go to specialists for everything under the sun. Wouldn't it make sense to maybe have a specialist in your life who understands the stages of life development itself? Of course so. That's what we do here at the Circle of Chi. It's pretty profound when you think about it in that way. There we are. But now we're scared. What do we do? How do we calm down this raging fire? Lamaji first will give you the most simplest answer, right? The most simplest answer is open back up your heart, because that's where it began to go wrong. Here, the love that people feel in our classes, in our sessions, in our tours, is because we're teaching people to open up their hearts. And then their throat will open back up. And then their solar plex will open back up. And little by little, they get functions back that haven't worked in 10 or 20 years, sometimes more than that. Aging begins to slow down because the chanda, the spirit, mind, and body, are again beginning for the first time, maybe since puberty, to behave like it's supposed to. The quickest way to lose the fear of the birth of fire is to give it to the heart chakra. I remember I'm coming down the mountaintop on the 45-day renewal. How often, Lamaji, I asked, should I practice my Tai Chi Gum? And Master Maha Boyang says, until you can love unconditionally, little Lama, 24/7. You see, because we've all hurt and we've all hurt others, love is really an exercise. Do you know the word exercise and resurrection mean a similar thing? To bring forth, to exercise that sadness, that pain of being hurt. Let it go, forgive, so that you can love again. Well, with that love comes trust. If we don't have trust, how can we love? Most of us don't trust ourselves anymore because we've been in and out of so many bad relationships. We've felt so much pain. We've lost so many relatives to death. Our hearts are just totally tied up, like a chain, like a safe that's scared for somebody to unlock it. And then one day, you're doing your Tai Chi Gong, and then the presence of an avatar walks up and you feel a little shaktipat. You know what shaktipat is, right? You know when your car's on the side of the road and that battery doesn't seem to work anymore? And then you call AAA and they come in, they pop the hood. What do? They take the jumper cables from a battery that is working and they jump the car. When somebody has had a heart attack, and what do? They put the paddles on the heart and they start the heart again. Well, Shaktipat and an avatar has the ability to restart that psychic, emotional heart, the part of you that was contaminated, the part of you that is untrusting, scared to love, scared to trust even your own judgment anymore because you have lost your discernment. You've lost your alignment with the divine. In your soul, you are free, and free indeed ye shall be. It's always been known to us. God lives in you, has his way with you, is knocking on the door of you. As Scripture says, the bride and the bridegroom must get together. In order for that sharat, the ancient name for soul, to enter the body fully, it has to come through its own homogeneous lightness. Like means like. Law of attraction, they call it today, used to be referred to as homogeneous species. Now it feels at home. You have built a cocoon of fire. It brings the total fire. And when it comes in, the 110 wattage running through your body becomes 220 and then 440. And you'll feel so much passion, so much aliveness, you'll think you're going to pop. There are things that you can do. The most single is to open up the heart chakra and choose peace over fear. And know that this has arrived as a blessing and not a curse. Let your feet, the gentle yogas, the yin that we teach in Tai Chi Gong is the best way. Embrace the waterfall chi and let it wash away. Things you can eat, dairy, yogurt, calming down. If you're lost of grounding, you might consider taking some sea animal protein or a little bit of lamb protein. It will give you extra grounding. Grains will get you grounded. Watch too many stimulants like caffeine and sugar and pharmaceuticals. Be careful because it can excite the Kundalini too much. Watch overstimulation with electronics, especially TV, and especially programs that get you too excited. Spend more time in nature, doing your Tai Chi Gong, doing your yoga, and learn to breathe, exhale out your mouth. It's very important. Overemphasize the exhalation out your mouth. The nose represents the fire, the mouth and the tongue represents the water. And this way you can create balance as the Kundalini, the sleeping serpent, the being born of the fire goes through its thing. So from 15 years till 33, I went through everything. I had fainting spells from time to time. Doctors, my mom would take me to a doctor. If I sneezed, I loved my mom, she would haul me off to a doctor. Well, if they can't cure the common cold, how in the world are they going to treat Kundalini, right? That's kind of funny when you think about it. And of course, the doctor for Kundalini is an avatar. It's not a medical doctor, unless they're an avatar. Here, the exercises that we teach not only allow the Kundalini to naturally develop, but it allows it to go through its pattern naturally, expelling, expanding without resistance. The nerve flush that happens, the involuntary movement that sometimes almost looks like a seizure. If you've ever seen someone who is an epileptic go, it's very similar. But it's short-lived. It is freeing up the energy pathways because the meridians that acupuncturists treat are so closely influencing our central nervous system. And where your voluntary nervous system that travels up your spine and the governing meridian, masculine meridian in your back, has been open, but most people's involuntary nervous system that has so much to do with the descending waterfall chi, right? See, if you just close your eyes with Lamaji for just a minute, and just imagine as you're there that you just feel like somebody is pouring a pitcher of water over the top of your head, and it's going down your forehead, and it's going down your face, and that nice warm cool water is going down your chest and into your belly, through your arms and hands, through your legs, your ankles and feet, back into the earth. And it is producing Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Tai Chi Gong means give power to peace, brothers and sisters. Om is the Bindu chant of all. Om seeds the veils that bring 3, 4, and 5D together, brothers and sisters. But when we put the prefix of Om, A-U-M or O-M, in front of anything, it means give power to. In Revelations, they say the second coming isn't about the Word made flesh this time. Some say that was the incarnation of Jesus himself. Some say it's the Om chant that was made flesh. But it says it'll come in power. And Om means give power to. What, brothers and sisters, will you choose to give power to? It is Lamaji's way that will follow this pathway, the pathway of the Mala Garlands, and love to choose our thoughts consciously and not hurt our brothers and sisters. to lay down our guns, our knives, our clubs, and pick up the weapon that God really chose for us to use in this age of dark power yuga, the second age of ascension. Won't you join us, brothers and sisters? Go to the circleofchi.today.com and pick the membership that suits you and challenge yourself to have a connection every day with the divine. Whether you're religious or non-religious, it does not matter. The beautiful thing is it's not only a spiritual art, but it has an exacting science. It means you can prove to yourself whether this works or not. And you can prove it within 15 to 20 minutes of training. Challenge Lamaji. And then let us know what your experience is. Before we leave, I want to do a little physical, mental, and emotional meditation for us to begin to open our heart chakras more. Will you close your eyes with Lamaji for a moment? And I want you to focus between the belly and your heart. I want you to recall that first time you were ever hurt or you were denied, whether it was a girlfriend, a boyfriend, whether it was your mother, your father, or someone else. And deep within the caverns of your heart, I want you to reach out and forgive that person. Because now you're a spiritual adult. And now you have the ability to forgive, the ability to release, the ability to heal and let go and move forward. So that God now can use your heart for his greatest good. You deserve to be loved, and you deserve to love. And don't be afraid to open up your heart. And as Jesus said, let the holy fire give you new birth and give you new life. This is Master Lamaji saying namaste to you and to all your loved ones. Remember, we'll be back on the 5th of March to talk about the art of regeneration. And share this video, if you will, with your loved ones and tell them that Lamaji loves them and wishes all their families the best. Let us be healthy this year and prosper like the fire horse we're supposed to. Take advantage and be a blessing to someone who cannot quite be that blessing to themselves. It might be helping some lady across the street. It might be buying somebody's lunch or someone's dinner who's tight with money. Or you know what? It might be that you're supposed to give a hug today to somebody that needs that hug so much. As we say in the Far East, Baraka Bushad, which means may the blessings be to you and to your glorious family. Lamaji saying, see you soon, and God bless you, and God bless your family. And have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye. I'll see you. God bless.